somewhere beyond the solar system's outermost edge, which extends further than any human hand has ever reached. Voyager 2 is silently gliding through the interstellar void. However, what it just sent back is not merely another measurement or signal echoing into deep space. It's an image, a final image. Furthermore, what that image showed was so unanticipated, so perfectly structured, so out of place in the infinite randomness of the cosmos that it sent shockwaves through the deepest corners of the scientific community. A geometric anomaly, intelligent-looking, disturbingly intentional, and not accidental, captured by a probe powered by plutonium and guided by commands typed decades ago. How can it be that this machine, older than the modern internet itself, has now taken on the role of detecting something that may not be natural at all? Was Voyager 2 followed? Did it enter a zone where physics itself acts differently? Or has it stumbled upon something that was never meant to be seen? This isn't a coincidence. This is a warning signed in mathematics, encoded in the end, woven into the light frames of Voyager 2's journey. And if you believe that nothing exists in the universe, think again. When Voyager 2 launched in 1977, it carried with it humanity's most optimistic gesture, a golden disc filled with music, greetings, and sounds of Earth, a time capsule aimed at whoever or whatever might find it. That was the message, or so we thought. But close to 50 years later, what Voyager 2 has returned suggests something even more chilling: the reply. The image found in Voyager's final data burst wasn't meant to be possible, not with its broken cameras, not at this distance. However, when analyzed using a quantum AI system designed to look for invisible patterns, it showed a structure to the naked eye. Neither a planet, nor stardust, nor plasma, but a lattice, precise, symmetrical, and persistent across numerous frames. It's the kind of order that defies chance and hints at design. But here's what's worse: it remained fixed in relative position to the spacecraft, as if it were orbiting or tracking it. Scientists at NASA were quick to rule out hardware failure. The anomaly wasn't captured by only one camera. It was present in multiple instruments, layered across different time intervals and wavelengths. The structure, when mapped, demonstrated Fibonacci ratios that repeated, and a signature with prime number spacings so mathematical that one physicist described it as the universe directing a coded glare at us. But structures like this don't exist in deep space, especially not ones that seem to adapt. That's right, when Voyager's sensors continuously scanned, the anomaly changed slightly, as if responding to observation. This is reminiscent of the observer effect in quantum mechanics, but not at the level of an atom. This was kilometers wide. How can a structure react to observation unless it is conscious? And if it is, it might not be natural. It could be RT. Voyager 2 might have confronted, we must accept a shocking truth: the edge of our solar system is more than just a line of particles and plasma. It's a phase change region where the very fabric of space starts to change. According to quantum gravity theorists, spacetime beyond the heliopause could allow phenomena we've never modeled. Think of it as the cosmic twilight zone, where the rules written in Einstein's words start to blur and transform into quantum languages. The structure captured by Voyager fits no known model of interstellar matter. It reflects no light but absorbs specific frequencies. It casts no shadow but disrupts magnetic fields. It might not even exist in our dimension in any conventional way. Some suggest what Voyager saw could be a projection, a higher dimensional object intersecting with our space. In layman's terms, a shadow from another universe. Now, consider that a machine we built in the 1970s, when technology was less advanced than a cutting-edge calculator, detected this. It wasn't just the shape. When quantum AI parsed the data, it uncovered something buried deep in the anomaly's transmission patterns, sequences, not just any sequences, but prime numbers, Fibonacci spirals, and geometric symmetries identical to the exact mathematical language used on Voyager's golden record. The designs lined up with Earth's attempt to define a universal math, Rosetta Stone for alien minds. But here's the terrifying twist: the response wasn't just similar, it was mirroring. It was as if something out there had not only received our message, but understood it and replied using a structure encoding the same language, only detectable by the very AI we just developed not decades ago, not 5 years ago, but now, as if whatever's out there was waiting for us to get smart enough to hear it. While the public was given ambiguous assertions regarding unusual data artifacts, something very different was unfolding behind the closed conference rooms of NASA. Leaked internal emails revealed that top scientists were told not to discuss the image or the mirrored patterns it contained with the media. A rapid shift in communication protocols followed. The data streams from Voyager were rerouted, mirrored into private quantum labs for computers with heavy encryption. Why? Because the consequences were too destabilizing for physics as well as for geopolitics, religion, and science itself. One anonymous systems engineer described the internal atmosphere as identical to a Cold War alert, not just fear of destruction, but of contact. Because if Voyager's image was genuinely a response, it indicated that the experiment had ended. The signal came from us, and then something replied, and now it's too late to take it back. As the news filtered through unofficial channels, the scientific community began to divide. On one side, traditionalists insisted the structure could be explained by previously unknown interstellar dust, lensing or formation effects, but also other ones, especially those in theoretical physics and quantum field modeling, weren't convinced. Several documents that were first uploaded to RC and mysteriously removed within hours asserted that the predictions were accurate, behaviors that are created artificially in quaternary fields. In simple terms, fields manipulated not by nature but by design. These theorists proposed that Voyager had reached a restricted area of space in which data itself could be rearranged, shaped, or even encoded visually. An expert in physics compared the image to a glyph, something between a symbol and a command. And then came the unthinkable suggestion: what if this was not merely a response? What if it was an invitation? Despite this, Voyager's magnetometers, exceeding their expected lifespan significantly, began to produce data that defied understanding. The local magnetic field near the object pulsed not sporadically but at predetermined intervals, routine, predictable, like a beacon, like a heartbeat. These pulses had no terrestrial explanation and were not tied to solar activity or galactic turbulence. More disturbingly, the intervals between each pulse followed the Fibonacci progression, a sequence detected visually in the structure of the object. For decades, we've searched for signs of alien life in radio waves and the atmospheres of exoplanets. However, what Voyager may have just discovered is something much more sophisticated, a civilization or force that manipulates the very environment around it, leaving not radio or wreckage behind, but a pattern knowing only the intelligent would notice it. And just now, we did. A terrifying development emerged as the investigation progressed. Thoughts began to take shape, not in science journals, but in private meetings between physicists, analysts, and AI researchers. What if the image Voyager captured did not depict an object? Suppose it was a reflection, not metaphorically, but literally a space distortion that is responsive and dynamic, turning like a mirror toward us the moment we looked too deeply. Voyager hadn't captured something new, but had triggered something dormant. A sentient mechanism, a field surveillance system that weighs us. Invisible until one of our machines finally breached the correct boundary, not to be attacked, not to be welcomed, but merely for observation. And now, with Voyager silently entering the darkness, revealing a picture that should not exist, we may have crossed a threshold we were never intended to cross, one where the observers become the observed. For nearly half a century, Voyager drifted silently through the void, carrying a species' hopes not old enough to know what it was truly inquiring about. We embedded our music, our mathematics, our heartbeat into a disk of gold and hurled it into the unknown with the hope that maybe one day someone would find it. However, deep down, we never truly believed they'd answer. Up until this point, Voyager 2's final image captured isn't just a picture. It's a rupture, a subtle blemish on our understanding of what lies beyond a logical, geometric echo of our own, reflected back at us in forms too precise, far too planned to be random. It's not a star, not a planet, not gas, dust, or a comet. It's something else, something that waits and thinks, that resembles, and, worst of all, something that seems to understand us. We once believed we were sending our message into the void. But Voyager's final act may have confirmed the most ancient fear in every myth, in every religion, in every staring eye that ever looked up at the sky. We were never alone. Not in this galaxy, not in this dimension, even if we kept silent. And now, with a single image captured by a dying machine, that silence has been broken. The sky is no longer quiet because something just blinked. If this revelation shook you, if it made you question everything we thought we knew regarding solitude, time, and space, then don't walk away in silence. Subscribe to this network. We follow the transmissions that others fear to acknowledge. Turn on notifications because Voyager's final message may not be its last. Share this video with someone who still believes space is empty. Comment down below. Was it a reply or a test?